Okay, Tom, I realized I didn't go through the whole float, really. So, here's the front, obviously. We have the shield, so we did our red and white backwards, so I will change that on our order. And then if you notice here on the sides, they did all this red in here. And so I just told Lupe to go back and paint that cream or tan like last year so we can do the wood size to save us a few carnations there. Because also too with the pipes there, they wouldn't poke through well. Here are the flags. So they had to do the stripes from smaller to larger because the shape of the flags is a little bit funky. You might have to play a little bit with that square maybe and elongate it if you think that would look a little better. The 93s are being done right now, but we could probably add a little more blue on that. The eagle feathers are done. They're just sitting on the counter, and this time they will number them properly. The observer hole is really massive, but they're cocooning that again and are going to repaint it. And then after judging, we'll just have to cut a ton of it off so that he can see where he's going. They got the Remember, Reflect, Renew on the sides. The benefit and welfare signs, you see where that hole is in the side, that's where those are going to go. They'll do them tomorrow. They're test driving the other float and they just ran out of gas. Alright, they got these on. They know they're too low, so they will raise them up a little bit. Like you said, you wanted them a couple inches above the deck, and so they're going to go ahead and do that. But those are on. You can see a little bit more now the areas that we foamed now that it's painted green. We still haven't worked out this total floor pattern, but I will work on it with Lupe tomorrow on getting the rays in here properly. But you can see now better where we have foamed and where we haven't. So that's that. As far as the cages that we're going to go up here, Matt said that we can just put them on with wood screws. So I elected not to make that decision without you because I know kind of where we had the tape, but now that we've foamed things, I thought it was kind of different. And so what we'll do is just on the 26th, we'll just screw them down through the wood and they'll hold fine. The only ones that are getting welded on are the ones on the back, and they will be doing that tomorrow. And so I think it's still marked out on the other side. Let's see. I was going over it with them today. Okay, yeah, so where that piece of gray tape is, we're going to do one of these medium cages, which is this size. So if you look on the grid, you see that's roughly about a foot and change. And then the little tiny cages, so big cage where that gray tape is, little tiny cages, he's putting inside all the little insets. Inside the insets, and then 2 medium cages up here on the top. The other thing we were thinking is if you wanted floral on the bottom of this mural here, probably the best way to do it so it does not get crushed would be to weld cages across the back so that the flowers would ride up and down with the fluorograph instead of being on the float and then being smashed when the fluorograph came down. So what's happening with those. So then the other question is, if I go back to my Flora Abundance sheet, where we have the giant steps here, aka these, I know we've got floral going behind the patches, obviously, and now we have this decking area. So I just was wondering, you know, how much, this is again where we figured I would leave the cages until you got here, because I was kind of figuring they would go more by these panels. So I think this is kind of setting up right in here, maybe to have more upright and less kind of spills. But on these corners here, we could still definitely do spills. It's just with this foam being up against the back, there's not really something here against the edge to drape over. but that doesn't mean we couldn't do it because we could add another cage on there. We just weren't sure if maybe instead of spilling over, we wanted to come from below and come up. Either way, and then I already went over the back, and so I shouldn't have gotten all the way down. The pentagon, they'll be adding the sections in, and so this is just the call we need to make if we need this as roses and carnations. This is the back view of the flag, and the fire hydrant's all ready to go, and try not to fall in the hole. Okay. So we'll start painting those rays on here tomorrow, so I'll probably have another video to add. Okay, so now all the way on the top, this is the foam. So this piece rides up and down with the Floragraph. And so when this is setting down, we can put flowers down here on the green bit standing straight up. We can also attach cages to this part and they'll ride up and down with this. But again, since we did so much foam out here, to kind of look at what's going to be water tube and what's going to be design work, I'd assume we'd do some design work across the back here. That's where we talked about bringing the blues back in. You can see out onto there. So, I think that's it. Any rate, we'll talk and we'll go through the order. Okay, bye.